Hello and welcome to FPL Kids. I'm Blake, I'm joined with Dad and Matt. On this podcast, we talk about FPL, it's mainly just for kids.
And we're live on YouTube again.
Yeah!
So if you're listening to the podcast version, there is a video.
YouTube live video, YouTube video thing.
We'll put a link to the version in the podcast description.
Yeah.
Blake, I don't really want to talk about FPL on this day.
Why?
Because I've had another red arrow. I've had another terrible game week.
Oh, I've got all green arrows.
You've had the best game week
Of my life.
of his life.
150, that's my record.
Well, we'll come back to that. The best FPL game week of your life. And I'm here. I dropped, I got a red arrow. I dropped about 50-odd thousand places. I made a right mess of it.
I love laughing at you.
Don't just laugh at me.
Why?
All right. I guess, yeah. You've had 3 green arrows in a row on FPL.
Yay!
Your target to finish in the top million, is that your target?
Yep.
You are well inside the top million.
Yep.
We'll look at that later.
I'm nearly in the top 500,000.
You've done amazingly. You want to tell people to subscribe?
Yeah, you have to subscribe. I'm 1 subscriber away from 15 quid.
Blake's got some kind of bet with one of his friends from school about the number of YouTube subscribers on FPL Kids. And he needs 1 more to win this bet.
I need 1 more for 15 quid, please. Please. If you're listening to the podcast version, go onto YouTube and subscribe. I know I've got over 1,000 listeners, so I should have over 1,000 subscribers.
Well, there you go. Get subscribing to
Get
FPL Kids on
subscribing.
YouTube. Now, a few weeks ago, Blake, I know you wanted to come back to something. A few weeks ago, you offered some kind of prize if people make a poster.
Yep.
A poster about FPL Kids.
Yep.
And they put it somewhere in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to have done it, guys.
No. And there's a big prize. It's a jackpot. All the football cards that I no longer want.
That doesn't sound like a really appealing jackpot.
I think it's over 200 football cards.
Well, there you go. If you want to win the jackpot,
The jackpot.
you just have to send Blake a picture of a poster you've made and put up somewhere in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right. Last week, should we round up the games you introduced last week?
Yes.
There was another. We did Where's Solly, Where's Bolly, Where's Ollie.
Yep.
We went back to Where's Solly.
Where's Solly on holiday? Where's they go on holiday?
No idea. So
I don't know if he actually went on holiday, but
probably
during the
didn't.
international break.
So who found Solly on holiday?
It was, let's think, who might have
Who
found
might have found Solly?
me?
Well, you knew where he was anyway. Come on, which of your listeners was first to find Solly?
It was Tom Maskell. What a surprise!
It's always Tom Maskell. Other people need to up their game to try and beat Tom Maskell.
Yeah. You want to beat him to it.
On Facebook, Simon Weatherly also found Solly.
Yep, probably after him though.
It was after him, yeah. So a couple of people found Solly on holiday in the Where's Solly game.
Yep.
You also did Blake's Mix-Ups. Last week's anagram was
Abseil Conkers.
Abseil Conkers. And who was that? What FPL player was that?
Alison Becker.
Alison Becker.
Do you know who got it?
Tom Maskell.
Oh, why does he always get it?
At this point, you're just making up games for Tom Maskell to play.
Yeah.
And occasionally Simon Weatherly.
Yeah. He pops up every now and again.
Will there be a new Blake's Mix-Up later in the podcast?
Yes.
Just for
Tom
Tom.
Maskell will not be getting.
Okay.
You will not get it.
If anyone can beat Tom Maskell to getting this next Blake's Mix-Up, do they get some kind of jackpot?
No.
Oh, right. The jackpot is just for the posters.
Yeah.
All right. On to FPL then. We've just had a big double game week. Have you sorted your hair out?
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, Blake looks concerned about some hair sticking out on this side of his head. So what Premier League games caught your eye this week? And
Honestly, I had to choose one of the Leeds games, and
Alright.
I chose the one with the most FPL stuff in.
Right. So
Arsenal 4, Leeds 1.
Arsenal 4, Leeds 1. What, from an FPL perspective, we're interested? I mean, obviously, we were disappointed from a Leeds United
Yeah.
perspective. But what FPL-wise did you think about that game?
It was the return of Jesus.
The return of Jesus. He scored twice.
Yeah.
Did he get all the bonus points? The 3 bonus points?
Yep.
He's been out for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Injured.
He's back and he's scoring.
Could be a differential for the rest of the season.
Check it out.
At the start of the season, loads of us had Gabriel Jesus in our teams.
I think I might have him for.
I think you had him for a while.
Actually, I think it was about 5 game week. But
You think so?
Yeah.
So it could be worth getting back.
No, I'm not taking him back.
You're not?
He was a disappointment to the FPL Kids name.
Okay. But he's back in the goals.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
8 million.
8 million. Who else did you spot in this game then?
I spotted Ben White scoring.
Ben White. Ben White has scored in a couple of games recently. And Arsenal keep quite a few clean sheets.
Yeah.
Is this the Ben White dance?
Yeah.
Have you got Ben White? You've got an Arsenal defender in your team, haven't you?
It's Gabriel.
Gabriel. All right. So you're probably not going to go to Ben White.
Nope.
But how much is he?
He is 4.8 million.
4.8 million.
Yep.
Oh, with Arsenal playing that well, you feel like you want to have Arsenal players, don't you?
You need them.
And these are some.
They're crucial to FPL survival.
They are.
But you don't get relegated for some reason. They should make leagues.
Maybe. You've got your own mini league. We'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
So Jesus, White, interesting Arsenal players. What else did you spot in that game?
Rasmus Christensen.
Rasmus.
He scored recently.
He has scored twice recently.
Which makes up for all the clean sheets he doesn't get.
Yeah.
And he's about, I don't know, he's about 4.8 million.
But I don't recommend any of us getting any Leeds players. Unless it's
Why?
Unless it's Jack Harrison.
He is too expensive.
Not that expensive. Leeds have got Palace at home this week. Jack Harrison's scored like 3 goals in the last 5 weeks. If you're going to go for a Leeds player, it's going to be Harrison, isn't it? Or Nonto.
Or Rasmus.
Or Rasmus Christensen. All right, move on. What other games this week do you want to talk about?
Newcastle 5. West Ham 1.
Big win for Newcastle.
Yes.
FPL wise, what do you see?
Callum Wilson. 6.9 million.
Ooh.
19 points this week.
19 points this game week, 3 goals.
Yep.
6.9 million.
Yeah.
Do you know, when we were preparing for this, I looked at all the Newcastle players. He's the most expensive Newcastle player at 6.9 million.
Mm-hmm.
So many bargains in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Because you were saying they're playing a lot better recently.
Mm-hmm.
Why have you made your neck disappear?
I don't know.
So Callum Wilson, a bit like Jesus, if you're looking for strikers.
The return.
The return of Callum Wilson. The problem with Wilson is that he's got competition up
For
front.
Isak, a little Isak.
Isak.
He's the guy from Sweden. Isak. Oh, it's Isak. He's the guy from Sweden.
Out of all
Thank you.
all the things I thought you were going to sing a song about this week, I did not think it was going to be Isak.
Why?
I don't know. You're looking at that big map, wondering where Sweden is now.
I know where it is. It's up there.
Yeah. What else? There was another Newcastle player that you wanted to talk about. For some reason, I don't agree with this, but
Joe Linton.
why?
Because he's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
He did score a couple of goals in this game,
Yeah, I think he got 2 bonus points.
right?
A yellow card.
Oh, did he get a yellow card?
Yeah.
Okay. But you think, I guess Newcastle players are just good value.
Yeah.
So Joe Linton falls into that
Yeah.
bracket.
That space of time.
Right. What other game then? You've done Arsenal, Newcastle. There were a lot of big wins this week, and I know there's another big victory you wanted to talk about.
A Man City for Liverpool 1.
4-1 City. you transferred out Grealish this week.
Yeah.
Even though you've had a good game week, it could have been even better.
Yep.
So apart from Grealish, what did you want to talk about?
They won without Haaland,
Hmm?
who is back in training.
He's back in training.
Yeah.
So Haaland's an option for this week.
I guess.
Playing Southampton this week.
Southampton away.
So they won without Haaland. And that was thanks to what? Thanks to Grealish.
De Bruyne and Alvarez.
Okay. It's tough though it's tough because De Bruyne is really expensive.
De Bruyne, Alvarez, and the Grealish.
I've got De Bruyne.
Bruyne.
I've got De Bruyne in my squad.
Why?
And finally he repaid me because he's a big expensive player to have.
Why on earth do you have him, young child?
Young child, you're the one who's 8 years old. Would you get any Liverpool players in your squad?
No! I already have one.
Who have you got? You got Robertson, haven't you? Do you know I've got Gakpo and Trent? This is why I've made such a mess in recent weeks. I've made, honestly, if you could see do you know, at the start of this game week, I was about 15,000. I've dropped to like 65,000, and my team looks terrible from now on as well.
Are you saying that you're saying 65,000?
Well, no, it's still good, isn't it? But I've made a
65,000 is bad. Tell him it's good. It's good.
Tell us about. Do you know what? Let's do a question.
Yeah.
You've got a question from.
Why did we finish this section?
Yeah, you finished talking about that. You've got a question that I'll read out to you.
Yep.
Which is from a fellow 8-year-old.
Yes.
This is from Milo.
Milo.
I hope you're watching and listening, Milo. Firstly, Milo would like to say, loves your podcast.
Yay!
Loves FPL Kids.
Go Milo. Go Milo.
He's listened to loads of episodes. On his way to see family in Leeds. I mean, we've got family in Leeds. We live in Leeds.
Oh, yeah.
And Milo wants to know if transferring out Tony for Haaland this week is a good move. What are you going to say to this? I know you were looking at the fixtures. You really thought about this one.
Yes. Tony has got Newcastle at home and Wolves away. Haaland's got Southampton away, Leicester at home. They're blank.
Right. I mean, Southampton and Leicester that Haaland's got in the next 2 games.
They're some of the worst 2 teams in the league.
Are they both in the relegation zone?
I
think they are.
Yeah, Southampton are definitely in the relegation.
Are they the bottom 2 teams in the league, in fact?
Isn't Bournemouth? Bournemouth.
Yeah. I'll check. You keep talking about the options. So what are you thinking? What do you think about Tony?
Tony? He's all right.
Look at Leicester and Southampton. They are the bottom 2 teams in the league right now.
Bournemouth 18th.
So what are you going to say to Milo then? He's taking out Tony for Haaland, the right move.
You are good. You have Oracle inside you.
Oh, Milo, Blake sees an Oracle in you. Blake is known as the Oracle for FPL. Milo, you could be an Oracle too. So what? But are you going to answer Milo's question? What is the answer? You're still stalling for time here.
The answer is yes. Do it.
Do it.
Haaland is a good option.
Bring in Haaland. You said earlier he was back in training.
I need to give you a thumbs up for that.
You said he was back in training. He's playing the bottom 2 teams in his next couple of game weeks.
Yeah.
But should Milo be thinking about game week 32?
He might have to. He might need a plan for that. Or if he just stick Haaland on the bench and save him.
Well, it depends how many other players you've got from that game week 32, where a few teams have got blanks in 32, haven't they?
Yep. Including Haaland. So that's Man City.
Yeah.
Manchester United, Chelsea, and Brighton.
Yeah. So Milo needs to check how many players from those teams he's got as well and think about that.
Yeah.
But in general, you're saying, yeah, go for Haaland.
Yeah, go for Haaland.
All right. It's time to check out. I'm not looking forward to this. It's time to look at Blake's FPL game week.
Yay! Let's all look at it.
The best game week.
Keep focusing on his face to see if he gets sad.
The best game week
I'll focus on this.
of Blake's life. Go on. Tell us how many points you got this week.
115 with my bench boost.
So remind us what transfers you made ahead of this game week.
I did Tarkowski and Grealish to Estupinian and the Madison.
I'd say one of those transfers worked,
Estupinian worked.
but Grealish to Madison
It was.
turned out to be a bad move. That one, you could have been even better.
Yeah, I guess.
Go on then. You bench boosted.
Yep.
You used it this week. Where did you get these 115 points then?
In goal, De Gea with 8. In defence, Estupinian with 7, Robertson with 2, Trippier with 14, Mings with 10, Gabriel with 2. In midfield, Madison with 4, Rashford with 24,
Captain.
Saka with 1, Watkins with 17, and Tony with 11. Then, my bench boost, help me do this. Raya with 8, Haaland with 0, Erdegaard with 6, and Neves with 1.
So you did that
Should we
despite.
show it to see if they can actually
Oh,
see
they
it?
can't really see it. Those are his points.
They're all backwards.
So despite the fact that Madison didn't do well and that Haaland didn't play, you still had the best game week
of my
of your
life.
life. What did it mean for your overall rank? We already know that you've had 3 green arrows in a row.
I have 572,000. 512.
So you're in the top 600,000 now,
Yeah.
and you're aiming for that. You're aiming for top millions.
Yeah.
You're well inside it. What about what everyone is waiting for? The FPL Kids Mini League.
Yeah.
Talk us through the standings then, as you like to do. You always do the top 10.
Yep.
Go on then.
In first place with 1,977 points is Gunners Come Back. In second place with 1,944 points is Take the Hit. In third place with 1,937 points is Not My Josh King. In fourth place with 1,932 points is the FPL General. In fifth place with 1,931 points is Filthy Hillbillies.
That's Bin Juice.
Yep. In sixth place with 1,928 points is Netflix and Chilwell. How was Umberto Felipe Martins dropped to sixth?
He must be having a nightmare like me.
Yep. In seventh place with 1,893 points is the Wrath of Gam. In ninth place with 1,861 teams is Will Edder's team. And in 10th place.
You missed out Sam Telfer.
Sorry.
In 8th place.
In 8th place with 1,801 points is Sterling Jesus. And in 10th place with 1,849 points is Chenidak United. I'm very sorry, Sam Telfer.
And then in 11th is Tom Masker, who wins all the games. But then 12th this week is you.
Yay! I'm not 13. It's a miracle.
Blake has been 13th in his own league, or 14th for weeks on end.
Yeah.
Now you're up to 12th. And you want to finish in this top 10, don't you?
Yeah.
You're 16 points outside the top 10 in this league now.
I will get you.
It's doable. It's on.
It is on.
Well then, how are you going to do it? What are the plans for game week 30? Should we bring your team up here and have a look? What transfer have you decided to make ahead of game week 30? Because I know you've already done it. Deadline tomorrow. Because I know you've made a big transfer and a big decision.
Neves to Mitoma.
I mean, that sounds good.
Yep. Neves is suspended until the 22nd of April.
Yeah.
For Mitoma.
You've had Neves for a while because you brought in, I think Wolves had some double game weeks in March.
No, I haven't had him since then.
I think you have. You brought him in for that, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Because I brought in Kilman and I've still got Kilman.
No, it wasn't in March.
Was it earlier than that?
Yeah, it might have been March.
Well, anyway.
Late March.
Anyway, you've got rid of Neves.
Yeah.
You've brought in Mitoma. You're on the Mitoma bandwagon.
Yeah, the Mitoma. We're partying with Mitoma. Oh, partying with Mitoma. Ho, ho.
Go on then. Talk us through your team for game week 30.
In goal, I have De Gea.
Yeah.
In defence, I have Estupinian, Mings, and Trippier. In midfield, I have Rashford, Madison, Saka, Erdegaard, and Mitoma. And up front, I have Haaland and Watkins. On the bench, I have Raya, Tony, Gabriel, and Robertson.
I'm just, again, I don't know how you got yourself into this position. I've got myself into the position because I'm, again, really jealous of this team.
I know, I'm just a good FPL player.
I don't have any Villa players, and you've ended up with Mings and Watkins at home to Forest, which is brilliant. You've ended up with
Rashford and De Gea
at home to
Everton.
You've now got Mitoma, which I'm really jealous of. Even though Madison let you down, you've ended up with Madison at home to Bournemouth.
Yep.
This looks good.
Although Madison, his team is second bottom of the league.
True.
Against a team above them.
Yeah. Go on, who's your captain this week then?
Captain is Rashford.
Oh, that feels quite safe. You're not tempted by Watkins. Bit of a differential.
Yeah. You got to see my dance moves if you're listening to this on the podcast.
All right, you're staying safe with Rashford.
Yeah.
Who's your vice captain?
It's Haaland.
Haaland. There was a time when you just captained Haaland every week, but now
Yeah. I captain Melier.
you're gonna remind people about that all
Yeah.
season. There was 1 week when Blake captained Ilan Melier.
Yeah, and he got 2 points.
Yeah.
Bargain.
All right. Well, your team looks great for game week 30, Blake. I
Yep.
reckon you're going to have another good one. I can tell you it looks a lot better than my team again.
Yay!
What about your bargain buy? This is a section of the podcast where
Like bargain buy.
Blake
Let's get
recommends.
serious now.
This is where Blake recommends a player who is 5.5 million or less, who he thinks is going to do well for this one game week.
And it is.
Last week you picked Estepinian,
Mhm.
and he did all right.
You want me to unleash the beast from here?
What do you mean unleash the beast? Your bargain buy for this week?
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want me to just cover off last week's?
Yeah.
Estepinian got 7 points. It was all right. Who's your bargain buy for this week, Blake?
It's coming out. Jacob Ramsey!
Jacob Ramsey, Aston Villa.
Yep.
Yep. Well, at home to Forest. How much is Ramsey?
And he is 5.2 million.
5.2 million. Bargain.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, but Villa are on form.
I know.
All right. So that's your bargain buy for this week.
Yep.
Getting near the end. This is Tom Maskell. I hope you're still listening.
Yeah, I hope you're still listening.
It's time for the game that only you really play.
Yeah.
Blake's mix-ups.
Mix-ups. Mix-ups.
So Blake's about to give you the anagram of a Premier League player.
Yep.
What's this week's Blake's mix-up?
It is Angrier Helmets.
Angrier helmets.
Yep.
So loads of helmets that are really angry.
Yeah.
How are you spelling Angrier helmets? Just to clarify.
Angrier.
Yeah.
Helmets.
Do you want me to do that as well?
Yeah.
ANGRIERHELMETS. Angrier helmets. And that's rearrange those letters into a current Premier League player. Tom.
Oh, not just Tom. You have to do it before Tom does. Please
Someone do it
before Tom.
before Tom.
Or just with Tom. Anyone apart from Tom.
Anything else you want to say on this YouTube live on Good Friday?
Let me think. My farewell.
Go on then.
Thank you for listening to FPL Kids. Subscribe and leave a good review for the FPL Kids on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And one more thing. Farewell.